A mother over 600 miles away made a desperate 911 call, trying to get protection for her daughter. Her daughter, a young woman, was being harassed by her ex-boyfriend with a disturbing past. That call for help was one of many attempts that sadly didn't do enough to save the life of a student from the University of Utah. Today, we're looking into the horrific story of Lauren McCluskey. Before we start, we'd like to send our sincere condolences to Lauren's family and friends. After deciding to go to the University of Utah, McCluskey joined their women's track and field team. She was already a standout athlete, having won the Washington State Championship in high jump and ranking 10th in the heptathlon at the USATF Outdoor Junior Championships. Her mother, Jill McCluskey, who works at the University of Washington along with Lauren's father, Matt, remembered Lauren's early days. From when she was little, Lauren was an amazing athlete. She even climbed trees at 2 years old, Jill said. Lauren was also well loved by her teachers, coaches, and teammates. They admired her athletic skills, her strong academic record, and her personality. Lauren cared a lot about others and valued her friendships. She might have been a bit quiet, but once you got to know her, she had so many thoughts and really cared about people, her mom added. Lauren wasn't just about sports. She loved karaoke and dancing too. While at university, she was an active part of the Capitol Church in downtown Salt Lake City. She often invited friends to join her in singing and participating in church activities. In September 2018, Lauren McCluskey met someone named Sean Fields while he was working at a nightclub near the University of Utah. He was charming and took an interest in her, which led to the start of their relationship. Lauren's family and friends began to worry about Sean's behavior. He was controlling, calling her a lot, and making strange demands. The relationship started to feel not just unusual, but also threatening. The big problem came when Lauren found out who Sean really was. His actual name was Melvin Sean Rowland, and he wasn't the 28-year-old college student he claimed to be. He was a 37-year-old with a troubling past, including being a convicted sexual offender. This discovery shattered Lauren's trust in him. After learning the truth, Lauren broke off the relationship. However, Lauren's troubles with Rowland didn't stop there. He kept harassing her with messages and threats. Lauren McCluskey was in a tough spot with Melvin Sean Rowland, and things were getting scary. She started telling her family and friends about it. Lauren's mom was really worried. She called the University of Utah's police to see if they could help. She said to them, "I need help for my daughter at the University of Utah. She's been seeing a guy who's bad news. He's a sexual offender, and now he has her car. I'm scared about what might happen if she goes back to get it by herself." Lauren then talked to the police and said that she felt okay about getting her car back from her ex because a security officer would be there. The car exchange went well, and they both went their separate ways. For a couple of days, Lauren could relax and get back to her usual life. But then, Rowland started showing up at her university housing, sometimes even getting inside. He once asked Lauren for $1,000, threatening to share private photos of them if she didn't pay. Lauren knew this was serious, so she went to Officer Miguel Darris on October 12, 2018, and told him she was being harassed. The very next day, she even reported that Rowland was trying to extort her. Even with these reports, the police, including Officer Darris, didn't look into her claims. The situation got worse when Officer Darris did something really concerning. He asked Lauren for the private photos involved in her case. Shockingly, he then put these photos on his personal phone. He was even overheard saying inappropriate things about Lauren to other officers. On October 19th, Rowland showed up near Lauren's dorm. He was dressed in a Marvel Deadpool costume and was carrying a black bag. What no one knew was that inside his bag was a gun. Lauren was lucky to miss him as she returned from track practice. Lauren then got a text from Rowland. He knew she had talked to the police. This made Lauren terribly scared. She thought maybe someone in the police department had told him. What she didn't know was that Rowland could see all her emails and texts. This happened as she had once used his phone, and he saved her passwords without her knowing. Throughout this time, the police weren't giving Lauren the help she needed and was left to face these terrifying situations by herself. Then, Lauren reached out to the Salt Lake City police, hoping for additional assistance. She shared her concerns. "I've been working with the campus police at the U. I reported something last Saturday and haven't heard back. But today, someone who's been harassing me told me they know all about the police. It's weird, and I'm scared there might be someone on the inside telling them about my case." The Salt Lake City police felt their hands were tied because of jurisdiction limitations. The University of Utah's area was under the campus's police. When Lauren told them about her fears again, the officers didn't seem to take it too seriously. They thought it might just be a trick and didn't think she was actually in danger. Lauren tried to get in touch with the police a few more times, but started to feel like she was just bothering them. On October 22nd, things took a tragic turn. It was around 8:20 p.m. Lauren was walking back to her dorm while talking to her mom on the phone when Roland suddenly confronted her. He dragged her across the parking lot, causing her to drop her phone and other belongings. At 8:23 p.m., Lauren's dad, Matt McCluskey, called campus police, saying his daughter was in danger, but it was already too late. By 9:55 p.m., the worst had happened. 21-year-old Lauren McCluskey was found dead in the back of a car in the parking lot near her University of Utah dorm. She had been shot 7 times. Melvin took his own life a few hours following Lauren's death, and the person who provided him with the gun he used that night was later sentenced to 3 years in prison. Looking back at Lauren McCluskey's tragic story, there were several moments where things could have been different. Her mother, Jill McCluskey, points out some critical oversights. The officers never checked Lauren's killer's offender status. They took her statement but didn't find out that Roland was on parole. He could have been arrested right there. I just wish someone responsible had listened and believed her. Roland was on parole and could have been taken into custody. On October 19, 2018, just days before the tragedy, Lauren emailed Detective Kayla Dolliff about Roland's criminal background, but Dolliff didn't read the email until it was too late. Lauren's friend Shelby Gonzalez recalls a chilling detail. "On Thursday before we lost Lauren, she asked me to come to the library because she needed help. She said the police didn't believe her about her scary ex and she didn't know what to do." It becomes clear that Lauren was let down not just by her killer. Weak security at her dormitory and a culture of not taking young women's complaints seriously also played a role in her untimely death. Jill McCluskey laments, "The U has never admitted that Lauren's death could have been prevented. They haven't apologized or taken responsibility for their failures. It's hard for them to change without acknowledging these failures, and that needs to happen for the future." After Lauren McCluskey's tragic passing, her friend and teammate Brooke Martin was initially in shock. But as time passed, she saw that not much was changing in terms of campus safety or policies. Determined to make a difference, Martin created a mural to honor Lauren and helped form a student-led group called Unsafe U. This group started to speak out, especially on the first anniversary of Lauren's death. They began gathering and sharing stories about other cases that weren't handled well. Martin explains, "Students are using their voices to stand up for what's right. They're not just accepting empty promises or quick fixes from a system that's failing." Lauren was a communications major and took advanced public speaking with Professor Dan Clark. Her final exam was a presentation titled Last Lecture. If you had only 1 hour left to live, what would you say? Lauren was the first to volunteer. Professor Clark remembers her presentation. She was quiet, but her speech was powerful. She talked about her experiences on the track team, the highs of winning, the lows of injuries, and dealing with disappointment and pain. Her message was about keeping hope alive, facing life's challenges, and the importance of loving yourself to truly love others. Lauren McCluskey's family took legal action against the University of Utah and its police department for not providing the help she needed. They settled out of court, with the family receiving $10.5 million. Additionally, the Lauren McCluskey Foundation, which focuses on making campuses safer, received $3 million. The university admitted their mistakes in Lauren's case and promised to do better in student safety. They also decided to honor her memory with a new track facility. The money from the settlement is being used by the foundation to keep Lauren's mission alive, promoting safety on campuses. Since Lauren's death in 2018, the University of Utah has made big changes for campus safety. Around the time of her death's anniversary each year, there's a 5K run and walk to bring attention to violence in relationships. The university has really changed how it handles safety, with almost 80% of new officers in the Department of Public Safety. These officers get special training on assessing dangerous situations and working with people who have survived violence. Community advisors are now part of the dorms to help in cases of violence between people. The university is also working on or has already put in place 37 different changes to policies and procedures. This includes holding a conference on campus safety, checking and reporting cases of sexism as well as hate crimes, and having new dashboards to keep track of crimes on campus. The sad story of Lauren McCluskey highlights important concerns about how seriously women's calls for help are taken. It makes us ask, how many times does someone need to ask for help before they are listened to? Lauren's situation, where she reported her concerns over 20 times, really shows a bigger problem. Even with the changes that have happened since her death, the grief will forever be felt. That's all for today. Remember to keep supporting and pushing for better safety on campuses in memory of Lauren McCluskey. Your efforts can truly make a difference. If you were moved by this story, please share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified each time we post a new case.